Yo, what is good YouTube? Matty Dubs here, back with another video, guys. We have some more breaking news, notes, highlights, observations from another day here in Indianapolis for Colts training camp. But in this video, I'm going to talk about a couple of guys who have really been standing out, especially in this last practice here. There's definitely a couple of guys who have stood out to me and a bunch of the reporters. So I'm going to make sure you guys are kept up to date with all of that going forward. However, before we jump into the video, make sure you guys do me a huge favor and smash that like button just so we can get this video to more Colts fans around the world. But also subscribe to the channel if you're new. I will be covering the entirety of the NFL offseason, which includes free agency, training camp, preseason, regular season, any trades that take place, pretty much everything. I got you guys covered. Also, I will be live streaming games, so if you want to watch some Colts games with me live throughout the season, make sure you guys join the family. But without any further ado, let's jump into the video now. The number one thing that stood out to me during this practice with Anthony Richardson once again took all of the first team reps with the first team, and he actually had a very strong performance. He's been impressing almost every single day that he's taking reps with the first team, and it's starting to become something that we're seeing on a regular basis. Now, overall, he had 5 of 8 of his passes completed. He included 3 touchdowns to tight end Kylan Granson, wide receiver Alec Pierce, and wide receiver Michael Pittman. The 40-yard touchdown throw from Richardson was to Pierce, and that was definitely the highlight of the day. So Anthony Richardson, nothing but good news coming out of camp about him. So he's just going to continue to get better, continue to develop over here. But right now, he looks like he's probably going to be the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts going into next season. Now, another guy who's been working with the first team and something that we are extremely excited about is Shaq Leonard is finally back with the team, playing full strength, 7-on-7s, 11-on-11s, participating in a lot of different plays, or a lot of different team drills, I should say. Almost had an interception on Anthony Richardson, and was definitely pissed that he didn't get it. But man, it's just a good thing that he's back out here practicing with the team. And it was said that during his injury-riddled season, he didn't know if he was ever going to suit up and play football again. So this is not only big news for him, but big news for the team as well. Just to have a guy with his capabilities back onto the field here. We saw Jonathan Taylor watch over practice today, watch the running backs go through some drills. So we'll see what happens with Jonathan Taylor. He's, I guess you could say he's holding out, but he's still at practice, just not participating in practice. So that is definitely another thing. We'll see what goes on with him over the next few days here at practice. And then a couple of other guys who have really been looking good so far in camp. Wide receivers Alec Pierce and Michael Strahan are continuing to impress, man. They have been wide receivers who have just continued to maybe turn some heads at camp so far. They've done a really good job at making sure that they've been noticed, making very impressive plays left and right, and just making highlights, man. And that's what you need to do at camp. Obviously, you need to show that on the field so you have more tape, just in case someone gets cut, like Mike Strahan. If he gets cut, you need some more tape. So if he can do this in the preseason, I don't think he'll get cut. I think he'll make the team. But if he happens to get cut, I think another team would pick him up just because of how good he has been. So we'll see what happens with them over the next couple of days of training camp. And then the last thing I really want to touch up on real quick is the rookie cornerbacks on this team actually look really good. You got rookie Juju Brents, who practiced for the second consecutive day, making a few kind of very impactful plays with the defense. He had a nice tackle against rookie running back Evan Hall, broke up a pass intended for Ashton Doolin. We know it's like not the craziest thing in the world, and it's very small sample size so far, but Juju Brents has been someone who has looked impressive to them so far, so they're loving that. And then it's the same thing for Jalen Jones. I think he was a 7th round pick, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's done a great job throughout camp so far, just making some plays here and there, turning some heads and making sure that when it comes down to 53-man roster, when it comes down to cuts, they're gonna know in the back of their head, like, oh, this guy made some plays. So he's doing a good job, doing his best to make this team. And when you look at the cornerback room right now, you got Juju Brents, you got Dallas Flowers, Kenny Moore, and then I feel like Jalen Jones could be the number 4 cornerback on this team, fighting for a number 3 job. I mean, you never really know. I feel like he's been doing good in camp so far. I don't think he'll open up as a day 1 starter, but I do think that he is someone that can come in here and continue to turn heads, continue to make big plays, and maybe we see him as a starting cornerback come, November, December, we could see him being a starting quarterback, especially if there is a injury. I feel like he's a guy that can step up and fill a role for them going forward. But overall, when I look at this team, I feel like they have so many guys just playing at a high level, including Kwity Paye. He, has done a lot this offseason in terms of, boxing, yoga, Pilates. He's been doing everything that he can to make sure that he's ready to go for the start of the season, to make sure that his stamina is up to par, and, he's not going to get tired quickly. So he's a guy that wants to be a 3-down player, and it looks like he is really starting to take the keys in order to do that. And then offensively, we already talked about Anthony Richardson has looked amazing. Mo Alley Cox been getting some starting reps. Will Mallory's been getting thrown in there a little bit. But the wide receiver group to me looks the best. I mean, Pittman, Alec Pierce, amazing. You bring in Isaiah McKenzie from Buffalo, but then still you got Ashton Doolin, Josh Downs. So they have a ton of depth everywhere on this team. So I'm excited to see what they can do next season. I don't know if they're going to be a playoff team with the Jaguars in this division, but they're definitely a team who can surprise a lot of teams going into next season. Let me know what you guys think about the Colts. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Today's video is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. And if you love playing fantasy sports like football, basketball, baseball, and so many other sports, but also love being able to win money, you're going to want to stick around for this whole segment. Introducing Underdog Fantasy, the ultimate platform for fantasy sports lovers. Do you want to experience the thrill of drafting your team and competing for huge prizes? Well, look no further. With Underdog Fantasy, you get access to a wide range of fantasy sports, including football, basketball, baseball, and so much more. But here's what makes Underdog Fantasy stand out from all of those other apps. They've got quick and user-friendly drafting process, a unique and exciting game formats, fair and competitive contests for all skill levels, and attractive bonuses and promotions. Not only can you draft teams and compete with others, but you can also play a game of higher and lower, which is personally my favorite thing to do on there, but you can potentially win 20 times the money you put down. And if you use code MattyDubs when you sign up, Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. And what that means is basically when you deposit, let's say $100, they'll give you a free $100 to use and play with. Click the link in the description to get started, or head to the website right now to start dominating the fantasy world. And don't miss out on all the fun. Be a part of the Underdog community starting now. And don't forget, if you use code MattyDubs, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. Let's get started. Get into drafts with me starting today.